Take a deep breath. Allow yourself to arrive here fully. Some people have a unique quality, perceiving the world profoundly, engaging both their minds and their hearts. Perhaps you are one of those people, someone meant to express, inspire, and uplift, not merely to exist. Welcome to the Art of Feeling. This is a conversation for sensitive souls, those who feel everything, carry light for others, and sometimes forget to save any for themselves. The burden and gift of depth. Some souls are born with a quiet mission to bring light to dark places, to remind others that hope still exists, and to speak truth in a world that remains silent. But managing this sensitivity isn't always straightforward, because when you feel deeply, you live fully. You celebrate more fiercely. You love more profoundly. And sometimes you hurt more quietly than anyone else knows. There are days when the burden of being the strong one goes unnoticed. Days when people see your smile, but not your exhaustion. Days when you make room for everyone else. Yet no one notices you needed space, too. And yet there's a reason you're this way. You weren't meant to blend in. You were meant to be yourself. Expression as a form of liberation. Expressing yourself isn't a sign of weakness. It's a way to set yourself free. When you speak your truth, something within you comes alive again. When you let your emotions flow, you free your spirit. But many sensitive souls learn early to hide, to soften their voice, to shrink their truth, and to carry emotions silently. Not because they are weak, but because they fear misunderstanding. Here's a truth that changes everything. Unspoken feelings don't disappear. They take on new forms. They grow tense in their bodies, restless in their minds, and distant in their relationships. The more you suppress your truth, the further you drift from yourself. That's why expression isn't optional, it's essential. To express is to live honestly. To speak is to live fully. And when you finally allow yourself to feel without apology, you begin to reconnect with your true self. Creativity as a healing force. But expression is not only emotional, it is also creative. Some people communicate through words, while others do so through art, music, or movement. Creativity isn't only decorative, it's also healing. When you write, you bring order to chaos. When you paint, you give emotions life with color. When you create, you turn pain into meaning. Over time, what once felt heavy becomes powerful. However, this is where many struggle. Self-doubt. That quiet voice whispers, "Who do you think you are? Is this really good enough? Maybe you should stay small." Self-doubt has derailed more dreams than failure ever did. But what if self-doubt isn't a sign to stop, but an indication you're near growth? Everyone who has created something meaningful has faced uncertainty. Confidence doesn't come from certainty. It grows through action. You don't wait to believe in yourself. You build belief by moving forward anyway. Challenges in evolution. Yes, you'll face challenges. Moments when emotions become overwhelming, relationships strain your openness, and your sensitivity feels more like a burden than a gift. But your challenges do not define who you are. They show your growth. Every obstacle shapes who you are. Every emotional wave reveals your depth. Every tough season deepens your understanding of life. And one of the most important lessons you'll learn: excessive sensitivity causes suffering. Many compassionate people give endlessly, listen endlessly, and support endlessly until one day they feel drained. Not because they are weak, but because they forgot who they were while saving others. That's why boundaries are so important. Boundaries aren't walls, they are guidance. They show others how to love you and help you understand how to love yourself. Saying no isn't rejection, it's about self-respect. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's essential for survival. And when you begin honoring your own needs, something shifts. You stop merely going through the motions and start living fully. Relationships and the courage to be authentic. Genuine connection isn't about perfection, it's about being honest. Open communication promotes closeness. Accepting vulnerability strengthens trust. Yes, it's scary to express how you truly feel. Yes, it's risky to be misunderstood. But silence creates distance more quickly than truth ever can. Healthy relationships aren't formed by avoiding discomfort. They're built by working through it together. To love deeply, you must communicate authentically. Communication isn't just about speaking, it's about listening, being present, and prioritizing understanding over ego. But remember, not every relationship will appreciate your depth, and that's perfectly fine. You aren't here to be understood by everyone. You're here to stay true to yourself. Purpose and the call to express. You may feel compelled to create, speak, write, and guide, building something meaningful, a life that's about more than survival, but also about expression. And perhaps you've doubted, questioned, or hesitated about it. But that pull inside you isn't accidental. It's deliberate. Purpose is rarely loud. It whispers. It manifests as curiosity, as restlessness, as a quiet knowing that you are meant for more. The more you ignore it, the louder the emptiness grows. Fulfillment isn't about fitting in. It's about expressing your true self. Here's the truth most people overlook. You don't discover your potential by waiting. You discover it by acting. Take risks. Speak up. Make something. Start before you're prepared. Because readiness is a myth, courage provides clarity. Yes, the road won't be perfect. There will be doubt, mistakes, and moments when you question everything. But mistakes do not signal failure. They demonstrate progress. Everyone who has achieved something extraordinary once stood right where you are unsure yet called. Self-care and the permission to be. Take care of yourself along the way. Your sensitivity needs nourishment. Move your body. Feed your mind. Protect your peace. Meditate. Breathe. Rest without guilt. Since you can't produce light from burnout, you can't inspire from exhaustion either. Your well-being is connected to your purpose. It underpins it. Always remember, you are not here by chance. Your voice matters. Your feelings are valid. Your creativity is valuable. You are a unique blend of experiences, emotions, and perspectives. No one has ever been exactly like you, and no one ever will be again. So stop minimizing what you carry. You're not too sensitive, you're not too emotional, you're not too much of anything. You know this. And awareness equals power. The world doesn't need more people pretending to be invincible. It needs people brave enough to be genuine, to tell the truth, to create beauty, and to live honestly. People like you. So if you've been hiding, start expressing yourself. If you've been doubting, start moving. If you've been waiting, start now. Speak your truth. Create your art. Share your light. Because somewhere in this world, someone is waiting for the version of you that you are still afraid to become. And the moment you choose expression over fear, you don't just change your life. You allow others to modify theirs. Take a deep breath. You're not late. You're not lost. You are becoming, and the world is ready for the real you. You've been listening to The Art of Feeling. If this resonated, share it with someone who feels deeply. I'm your host. Until next time, feel fully, express boldly,